It's Friday, April 22nd, 2022, and this is Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm Dennis, and I'll be your host as we review the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as, any other superpowered stories that caught our attention. And when I say we, I'm referring first and foremost to my wonderful co-host, Ricky. He's my only co-host, so I have to call him wonderful. And there he is.
There I am.
There he is.
Did you get a haircut?
I did. I got a haircut.
Oh, it's just been for the show.
No, it's been like 7 weeks, man. I was like, whoa, I need a haircut. I didn't realize it had been 7 weeks until I looked at my last payment that I made. So here I am. But anyways, I know that everybody here wants to talk about my haircuts. And so instead of bringing out our special guest, I figured we should just rank your past haircuts. Yeah, we should just rank my past haircuts for the next hour and a half. And then we'll bump our guests to next week for sure. That's cool.
It's definitely better than your dreads that you had. So
my dreads. Okay, never mind. I don't want to talk about my hair. How about instead we bring out our very special 2 guests today. They've been on the show before, and at this point, I kind of feel like they're just a package deal. I don't know. Do you I don't.
I mean, we only pay them together, so it's how that works.
Yeah.
It's just one check.
It's Joel and Eric once again.
So where does the check get sent to? Because I haven't seen that yet. Does it just get sent to him?
It's definitely in the mail.
We cut it in half, and then you guys have to come together.
It might be your old address. It might be your old address.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
By the
welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Nice haircut.
Oh, yes, nice haircut.
Thanks. It's been hot, so I just wanted to get it really short. And I'm sure this is really riveting for everybody who's listening to the audio version of this podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the haircut is really good.
But trust us, I look good.
Yeah, he looks good. That's why you should watch.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. I don't know. What was the last time you had? Was it What If? It was What If, right?
Yeah.
It's a zombie.
What If? No, a minute ago.
Yeah,
it was What If, huh? So that was last year. Wow. No. Wait, no, Hawkeye.
Yes, thank you.
Hawkeye.
I was about to say
Hawkeye.
I was about to say I'm almost
Hawkeye.
Did I skip a Hawkeye episode?
After zombies.
We did Hawkeye. There was an episode you weren't here.
Yeah, that was
okay.
Without you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
It was us and Frank.
Yeah, wasn't that the one where you were in Vegas for?
Yes, that was the trip I got COVID. Yeah.
It was. So you guys were here for Hawkeye. So that, you know what that means? That means that you still haven't been here since the new year. So happy New Year, first of all.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
I mean, it's April, and I'm saying Happy New Year.
It was the New Year for that.
I'm also burping because of the shot we did a few minutes ago.
You gotta get seasoned, man. You gotta get seasoned.
I do have a question for you guys, but before I get to that, let me get some formalities out of the way. Just to let people know what kind of fun show we have in store for them. As advertised, we'll be putting a spotlight on Moon Knight episode 4. But before that, we have some nerd news to discuss and maybe another round of Marvel trivia. For those of you joining us live, don't be shy. We'll be checking the comments regularly where you'll we'll be checking the comments regularly. And if you can't get enough of us, you should visit patreon.com/GenXmedia. Ricky would normally put up a little ticker at the bottom, but he's off taking care of dogs. It's a place where you can find a variety of creative offerings, including recent episodes of our live after show, The Soapbox. Patrons get exclusive access to chat with us. But if that's not your thing, don't worry, because we release them to the public the following week. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got all that out of the way. I like to get it all out of the way quick, because especially if I'm going to be drinking with you guys during the show, which I think I'm going to be, it's not good if I have to follow a script later. Also, we've got some dogs in the chat, apparently.
Yeah. Dog representation here.
I'm kind of disappointed. I want to get a dog real fast, or just get my kid to bark or something like that. Yeah. I feel a little left out.
Both of those will work. Yeah.
Yeah, the dog, the kid will definitely work. Oh man.
That's
Sorry
a
about
good
that.
impression. Your kid
Sorry,
does a
sorry
great
about
impression.
that. There's fireworks outside. And my
Oh,
dog was
but,
watching fireworks.
that's what you do on April 22nd. You just do fireworks.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So what I was going to ask you guys is, I don't know if you saw, but last year, or to celebrate the new year, which is why I said Happy New Year, I put together a video of all of our guests telling us what Marvel meant to them. And if you never saw that, you suck. So shame on you. Shame on you. That's available on YouTube at DenX Media.
Mhm.
But no, you'd really like it, and I can show it to you later if you haven't seen it. But I figured this year I would kind of like ask a different question. So I kind of wanted to know for you guys, for each of you, we'll let Eric go first, since Joel's got a chatty dog.
I don't have a rabid dog.
Yeah. The question for both of you guys is, last year was, what does Marvel mean to you? This year, I want to kind of know what is the thing that gives you nerd life that is not Marvel related? What gives you life that you nerd out on that's not Marvel?
Am I going first? I'm going first.
Yeah, you are.
So honestly, it's got to be the Turtles. Like, I geek out on Ninja Turtles just nonstop. I've been following the comic book series for a little while. I stalk Eastman at every single Comic Con that he's at. Just a super great guy, super talented. Takes his time with all of his fans, and just been geeking out with them or on those guys since. Well, shit. When did they come out? Like, I think I got my first book at like '86.
Yeah,
or something like-
they were definitely the 80s, right?
Yeah. So like my aunt got me, like, it was like a trade paperback of like it was a collection of, it was like book 2 or something like that of like the series and everything like that. And so I read that and I was hooked, and that's why I got my ink, my Turtles ink right here. And dude, just can't go wrong. Got the last Ronin going on right now. I'm waiting for book 5. And that's been super exciting series. So those guys are still super popular. They got a couple of video games coming out here soon, like Shredder's Revenge. I don't know if you
They
guys
stay
have seen
consistent. There's always like a turtle thing.
that. It's nuts.
Yeah,
Ongoing.
Ever since Nickelodeon bought that IP, they make sure that there's never not something going on.
Well,
with them.
who's your turtle? Like, what's?
It's Leo. Yeah, so a Leo with like a close Raph, right behind. So, yeah. But yeah, those are my go-tos. So love those guys.
Awesome, cool. And then let's try to give Joel another chance to answer.
Well, let's ask the dog first.
Yeah.
I'm so
the dog's
sorry
name is
about
Rocket,
that,
if it helps. Rocket Raccoon. So
I apologize for that. I live next to SeaWorld, and SeaWorld, like, literally,
Oh, gotcha.
they have those SeaWorld fireworks every night around 8 o'clock. And
you're a realtor. I'll tell you that.
I used to live near SeaWorld, and I forgot. I took that for granted because I used to go outside and look at them every now and then.
Yeah.
I used to
Don't get me wrong. It's fun until you get a dog. And
your dog,
every night at 8 o'clock.
It's World War III.
He goes crazy or he hears this bang, bang, bang.
They do another one at 9, don't they?
No.
Oh, okay. Just 8 o'clock.
They just do 8 o'clock. Yeah. And honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it because they didn't do it last night. And I was like, oh, I guess they only do it on like maybe the weekends. But now,
and in the summer, they like crank that shit up.
Oh God, they do it like 10 times a day during the summer. So every single time, I swear, 10 times a day, he's like, rah, 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 rah.
You should get him a thunder jacket.
He has a hoodie on right now.
It's an actual thing. It's a compression vest that
thunder
dogs
shirt.
can wear. It's a thunder jacket, is what I've seen. But sure, yeah.
I have a 3-legged dog who had a
issue. You actually don't. You don't have one. Your sister has one.
He's in my name. I own him.
You like to claim ownership with him. Yeah, he doesn't live with you. He lives in a totally other
I lived
city.
with a 3-legged dog who had the same issue.
There you go.
We bought him one of the thunder jackets Dennis suggested. But because of his anatomy, because it's like a pretty like snug fitting little compression shirt for him.
Yeah.
But because of his anatomy, the shirt didn't like sit properly. And one night I came home and he had eaten the thunder shirt off of him.
Shit.
Are you saying it's because his Johnson was too big? Is that what you're? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
he had a big rocket out,
Yeah,
so we
gotcha.
didn't get the full compression effect, and he ate the
Well-
thunder jacket, the
well,
thing that's
this
supposed
is-
to calm him.
This is not what I wanted when I asked Joel what his what the thing that gives him nerd life is. But sure, this is. I guess this is going in the video instead, huh?
Dogs and fireworks.
Well, I can actually I could answer that question. I could try and make it as quickly as possible. It's
No. Take your time.
Impossible.
I like heartfelt more. So
Okay.
do better than Eric.
Okay. Well,
What the-
heartfelt for me is something that I swear that I don't think a lot of kids these days get is the 80s cartoons. 80s cartoons and 80s movies. Those 80s and 90s movies. Like
So just the 80s is what you're saying, and then
Yes.
also the 90s. So basically,
Yes.
20 years of your life is what you're saying. That
Yes.
that's what you nerd out
40.
on.
I
huh?
40
nerd, you,
years
do
of
not,
life.
you do not understand the essence of like the pleasure I get to like watch something like The Predator or watch something like Terminator or to watch like Transformers or Galaxy Rangers. Probably my favorite cartoon ever is Galaxy Rangers. Like
There you go. We
watching
got to it eventually. Why Galaxy Rangers?
Galaxy Rangers. It was the first. I believe it was the first cartoon that had CG in it. It was the first cartoon that actually like I used to wake up at 5 a.m. because that was the only time they used to play.
What
Galaxy
kind of
Rangers.
ghetto ass cartoon is on at 5 a.m?
It was at 5 a.m. I don't know why it was at 5 a.m, but I used to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. to go watch it. If you've never seen Galaxy Rangers, go watch it. It is phenomenal.
That sounds like generic as hell.
I've
Still
never
holds
seen
up.
it. I've never seen
It
it.
definitely does still hold up. Like it was kind of like a novelization. It was basically the whole essence of the story was.
Oh,
There were
man. He
these-
said he was gonna make it quick, but now we're getting the whole.
Dude,
episode.
Dennis,
you
you
said
knew better.
heartfelt. You said heartfelt. I'm giving you a
That's true.
heartfelt.
That's true. That's
I
true.
want to learn about the
Galaxy
Galaxy
Rangers.
Tell us about the
Rangers,
Galaxy Rangers.
It was these 4 superpowered police officers, basically
Mhm.
Rangers, that had they had like a story. Like the main character, Zach,
Oh, that's Silverhawks. You're talking about Silverhawks, right?
no, the main character's name is still Zach. His arm got blown off, and his kid
Cyberforce.
and his wife got killed while they kidnapped, and the aliens who blew off his arm kidnapped his kid. He joined the police force. They give him a robotic arm that charges up with pyrotechnic.
That sounds
badge.
expensive. Like, why would
got-
the police waste their time buying somebody a
It
robotic
was a
arm?
special. It was a
You see
special
the
force.
amount of budget they got.
They had a character.
Whatever.
They had a character named Goose who was based off of Clint Eastwood. That anytime he touched his badge, he could take to change to any molecular substance known to man. Like
They're like cowboys.
I'm
yeah.
just telling you right now.
That's so cool.
I now remember the show. I do remember it. It just popped in my head right now. But any group that's taking the one-arm guy and paying for an arm for him instead of the perfectly able-bodied two-arm guy, they're getting tax breaks. They're getting tax breaks. All right. I'm just saying. They're getting huge tax breaks.
All in all, when you are a like 7-8-year-old kid and you're seeing this show, it was
That show was
so
dumb.
cool.
I remember
That
it.
show was
I do
cool.
remember it.
It's
It's dumb.
like cops and the
This
cartoon
is his
cops.
passion. Like
Cops is, I know.
Based on the box art, this
Yeah,
shit looks
no,
cool.
I know. It is his
Oh my
passion.
gosh.
It's like
But I'm
cops, Silverhawks, Thundercats, like Tiger Sharks.
it sounds like
Jason the Whale
RoboCop.
Warriors.
Did the guy say
It's
drop it creep
Oh,
at one point?
man.
All those cartoons.
I get
were
it. I get your vibe. You like bad 80s cartoons. I got it.
bad. Wow.
Yeah.
You saying Thundercats and Silverhawks was bad 80s cartoons? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they are objectively,
Wow.
but I liked
Oh,
them.
you
Don't
cut
get
me
me
deep,
wrong.
Shrek.
Logging
I mean,
off.
They were.
Don't get me wrong. I liked them. I liked them then, but I don't like them now.
Well,
I
they
have
were
seen
meant to
them.
sell toys,
I
have
right?
seen
Like
them
that was
now.
the whole thing.
I
But
love those
you
cartoons.
can sell toys and make good stories too.
Look,
Like I'm
no-
just saying.
no offense to any of the artists who worked on the Thundercats now, because I actually know some of them, but I cannot confidently say in my heart that cartoon is better than the old one. I cannot do it.
I like the musician Thundercat more than the cartoon Thundercat.
I like
the
I
cartoon
like
Thundercats
I
is
like the
great.
I like the one from what was it, like 2012 or something like that. That was
Oh,
that one,
I've seen bits. Yeah,
that
was a
one
good
that
show.
one was better
But
to me.
That's a good
That's
series.
that's what I'm talking about. Like I
Yeah.
like that series. It's just that I can't get into it the way I did.
Yeah,
the
you know what I think I
1980s.
like the most is that the main guy wasn't running around in his underwear.
Oh, see, that's the opposite for me. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
That was the only reason I watched it.
Well,
I watched it on mute.
well, I appreciate knowing that your thing that gives you life is 80s nostalgia. I get
Yes.
that says a lot about me or about you. Yeah.
Well, his
All
favorite
right.
movie is Aliens. So,
Yes, my favorite
like,
movie is Aliens.
I mean, the
Okay.
80s were fucking wild though. Like you guys had like toys for fucking Terminator on the like
Yeah.
those were for all intents and purposes were kids movies with just gore in them.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't have Terminator toys until the PG-13 Terminators, though. We
What's
didn't have Terminator toys for the first Terminator.
the second one?
Yes, we
Okay.
had toys. They started,
But
but
that movie's not
it-
PG-13.
The second one's PG-13, isn't it?
Fuck
no,
no.
that one can't be 13, right?
Wait, which one?
You, like,
Terminator, you said?
Blows
T2.
off people.
T2 was PG-13, yes.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's PG-13.
No
dude.
way.
Yes, it's PG-13.
Yeah, it is.
The
it is.
fucking Cyberdyne scene doesn't he like? I mean, I'd be shocked.
I
Is
don't.
it really?
I actually don't even
Hey,
think there's
Ricky.
blood
Hey, Ricky.
Yeah.
in that movie.
Look
There's
it
a
up.
lot of killing, but there's no blood.
Look it up
Bet.
before you look dumber.
Bet. You guys should bet something.
Go for time.
Someone's got to do the worm.
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Hold on,
You can't look up Terminator 2 at IMDb
It's not on
and
like
automatically see the rating.
I looked up on the wiki.
Oh my god.
Benji, go look in your DVDs.
This is so
Yeah, you
bad.
got it right there.
Someone that's quicker. Grab the
Oh, no.
DVD.
Okay, it was rated R according to Geek Dad. That's what I see. Hold on.
Geek Dab. What are you guys doing here?
I don't know.
It's
I
rated
don't know.
R for strong
Rated R,
sci-fi
yeah.
action and violence. And
Okay, it is
like,
rated
isn't there
R.
boob in Terminator 2?
No.
No.
No, there's Arnold. Arnold's the only Arnold.
Yeah,
is,
you see Arnold's
Jason
butt.
Patrick. They're
That's
the
an
only
R
ones
rating
that's
for
naked.
sure.
Bud is not an R rating, dude.
Butt is not an R rating. Nope.
It's
Butt
not.
is
It's not an R rating. Yeah.
I just found out today, literally, I just found out this morning that like Star Trek, like Star Trek Generations, when Data said, oh shit, they only said, oh shit. So the movie could get a PG rating, because if they didn't throw one curse word in there, it would have gotten a G rating.
Yeah, I believe
No,
that.
the old G or Transformers.
Like the reason I said it was PG-13 is because, like, one, it's way tamer than the first movie, and two,
Yes.
that is a Wild West time for movies getting PG-13.
Yes, it's actually very true.
But in any case, if it was rated R, yeah, the other better example is RoboCop had toys. RoboCop
I can't get it.
is R.
A movie
RoboCop-
with boob.
RoboCop originally got a rated X.
Yes.
And they had to edit it down to make it an R for theaters. They rated it X because of the violence. It was so much violence.
That's a pretty violent movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So in any case, I get you. That was the opposite of a long story, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Joel.
It was a heartfelt story. That's what it was.
Yeah. Ricky, what do you got going on this week? Because I feel like we haven't talked to you enough other than arguing about whether or not things are rated R.
I mean, work's been pretty crazy. I've been over doing a lot of OT. I got OT tomorrow, but I'm going to the Academy Museum on Sunday. That's exciting.
What is the Academy Museum?
The Academy of Motion Pictures.
Okay, there's like several more academies.
The thing where Will Smith slapped the other guy, they have a museum. Yeah, they have the thing.
Gotcha.
So they have a bunch of movie shit there. So I'm excited to go on Sunday.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Apparently they have the card that Warren Beatty fucked up like a few years ago with Moonlight. So
Okay.
we were just talking about Dick Tracy like 4 shows ago.
The card. I gotcha. Yeah. I thought you said car, and I was like, what?
I'm sure Warren Beatty's fucked up a car too.
Did he run a car into the set of Moonlight? Does his beef
brand
go that
time.
far?
Yeah.
I was confused. Well, yeah. Honestly, I've been nerding out on more of the same stuff as I was last week. Atlanta, Outer Range, Young Justice, but I added to the list. I rewatched The Batman this week. I liked it less.
Bruce Wayne.
I actually liked it less than I liked it the first time. I talked to Frank for about an hour this week, and unfortunately, he felt the same way. He was afraid that the luster would fade away after that first viewing that he did in theaters, and he still loves the car scene for sure. But like,
Yes.
It was just easier to see all the times Bruce Wayne is just super dumb in that movie. I thought the funniest part about that movie, because if you haven't seen it yet, it's on HBO Max, but in the first act of the movie, Bruce is trying to track down this Russian girl that he believes knows information about these murders going on. And he cleverly ends up following Selena Kyle back and finds this Russian girl. And he's like, yes, I did it. I found her. And he's spying on her like a creeper. And so this person that the entire city of Gotham is now looking for, as soon as he sees her, he then moves his peeping eyes over to Selena, watches her get in a cat suit and leave and drive off. So what's he do? He leaves and he follows her instead of the person that is suspect number one. And I'm like, if that's not the dumbest thing I've ever seen a detective do.
Well, he found her. That's all he had to do. He's not a cop. He didn't have
and he's like, I'll be back later. And when he comes back later, she's dead. And that's dumb. That's stupid, dude. So that's a minor spoiler. That's in the first act. You don't find out she's dead till later, but she's dead. She's dead because he's stupid. And he does other stupid things in the movie. Do I like things about the movie? Sure. Do I like the world that it sets up in the future, like for future Batman movies? Yeah, I like the potential of what could come. But I did like it less the next time I watched it.
Well, he's like fresh at this, right? So he's supposed to make
nope.
kind of dumb.
Year two.
Oh, this is year two. Year two. I was hoping it'd be year one.
And I mean, that's when a lot of people get divorced. Is year two.
No, it's not. Year seven.
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 There is a number.
Yeah, there is a number.
Okay.
Well, you just made up a number, but I mean, there was a real.
I'm not married, so
yeah. I mean, I didn't have a chance because my year 7 was like the beginning of the pandemic, so I was just.
Oh yeah, that's an awkward time to dip out.
I just passed it. You know? That's what it happened.
You were getting that double stimmy, so it worked in your advantage.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there about the Batman, so that if you guys want to talk more about that in the soapbox later, I'm open to it. But we really should get this moving along. So
yeah.
Ricky, you got some news for us?
Yeah, we should open this up to some news. Well, it happened. We got the Thor trailer.
Yes.
Thunder.
That's officially the shortest window from the trailer to the movie release, right? For the MCU. They beat Spider-Man by they beat the Incredible Hulk. Actually, the Incredible Hulk had the shortest window.
Well, I think it was going to happen before Doctor Strange, right? That was a given. But
Doctor Strange is like a week and a half away, man.
So they really push. I'd be surprised if we don't get another one for Doctor Strange, like a 2-minute trailer.
Why? I don't think we'll get another one before Doctor Strange. So. No, I think we'll get one.
So close.
You'll get your second one after Doctor Strange. But you're not going to get a new one.
It's the one where they talk about Doctor Strange dying, and that's like they did with the Spider-Man trailer about Tony.
Oh yeah,
I see him everywhere I go.
No, but can we take a moment to talk about how awesome Natalie Portman looks as the Mighty Thor? Oh my god, those arms! Oh my god, she put in the work, man, and that's so cool.
Like as gorgeous as those arms are, I swear I don't know if it's more gorgeous that her arms look like that or she put in that much work.
She did.
I don't know
what's hotter.
I gotta say that might be my favorite thing about the MCU is they have not really let anybody half-ass their look. You know what I mean? Like their look is always like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. But like when we first heard she was going to be that Thor, I thought they were going to CG her or something, because I couldn't imagine Natalie Portman ever
Bulking
getting
up,
that huge.
swole.
That's so much. Like, that's so big, and it's so cool. I'm so excited for this movie. Like, that trailer was awesome. It told me very little, and I don't care. I don't care. I just want to see it.
Yep.
What'd you guys think of it?
Dude, I loved it. I watched it maybe 10 times or something like
Pretty
that. Like,
well put together trailer.
yeah, and it's so short, right? It's like a
Mhm.
really short trailer too. You know, it's only like a minute and a half or something like that. But and you're right, they don't show anything like basically story wise, but just like, you know, they show her and she looks great, and
They
then
show
just like
Thor hits the gym. That's it.
yeah, hits
Yeah.
him and
He sheds his belly weight.
wearing his
That's it.
strongest Avenger hat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just his interaction with the Guardians still is like ongoing, and so like, dude, I love that relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that we're at a point in the MCU where characters playing with each other is just commonplace now, right? It's not
Mhm.
like it's I don't say it's shocking, but it's just that, you know, to be expected that, oh yeah, they're both in space, you know, though they went out together at the end of the last movie. Here they are hanging out in this movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that, honestly, that's, I know we're jumping the gun a little bit, but that's kind of like one of my favorite things about Moon Knight, which is we're getting the origin story on TV so that the next time we see Moon Knight, he can play with the toys, right? Like, he can,
Mhm.
like, that's how we should be doing it from now on. Let's do the not, I don't want to say boring, but, you know, there's a lot of burden that comes with those origin stories. That's not what we want to go pay to see in theaters, right? We want to see Thor hanging out with all of those characters, and all the ones that they didn't show us in the trailer. And
Yeah.
I want that for every Marvel character going forward.
Well, along those lines, you know, they set that up with Kang, right? In Loki.
Well, they
So
set that up with a Kang, but yeah, but you're
Kang.
right.
Yeah.
They did, but
So
they did. Yeah, they gave
Mhm.
they laid the groundwork in the shows so that we can enjoy ourselves. Same with Kate Bishop, right? We
Mhm.
got her origin story, which was, it was okay. It was funnish, but like, dude, I want to see her with the Young Avengers or with
Right.
the real Avengers or whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know?
as of right now, like for instance with the TV shows, and I know we're gonna probably get into it a little more when we start talking about like Travis is stupid. I know when we start talking about Moon Knight, we're gonna like get into this more. I'm just very curious how all of this is gonna blend together.
Yeah, I don't care it anymore, really. I was just like, I just
Mhm.
want to see them bang the toys against each other and like,
But they
pow
set
pow.
that they set that precedent with the first 20 movies where everything intertwined to make one gigantic
And it will.
thing.
But I don't know that how strong I need the connection anymore, because it's after Spider-Man No Way Home, all bets are off. You can just do whatever. Anything is fair game now. You can do whatever the hell you want, and it's going to be fun, and people are going to freak out and record it illegally and put it up on TikTok, and you know, that's just going to happen.
That's the
Did
process.
you know this about the MCU?
Yeah, did you know this? Sometimes they'll put like fake trivia on IMDb, and you'll just be like, okay, all right, I guess so.
I'm optimistic that they're gonna do something good. They haven't done anything bad yet, so I'm very optimistic about what they're gonna do. But I'm still kind of like hoping that there'll be a little bit more intertwining to make things a little bit more like make me more pumped to see what's happening next.
Well,
before we move on to the next one, because I know you were going to right there, we have somebody in the audience who had some cool questions. One, I think he meant to say, I can't focus on what's Eric saying. His background makes me too thirsty.
Oh,
sorry,
dude.
That's Michael Rittman there. He's
I can just block it out. Just block it out.
Just block it out. And then he also asked the second question, which was, who has more toys, Joel or Dennis?
I laughed at that one. That was great.
I think that's Dennis. I honestly think it's Dennis. Yeah.
But you collect the Hot Toys, right, Joel?
I collect Hot Toys and Sideshow.
You don't have Hot Toys, do you?
I have 2 Hot Toys.
Yeah,
who has a more expensive toy collection?
I have the
Have
Darth
you,
Maul. And
have you
I
seen my Sentinels?
Sentinels are
Oh,
rad.
yeah, your Sentinels are pretty pricey.
See, next time I'm on the podcast, I'm gonna set up my camera
It's
right
like
in
gonna be
front of
an arms race. Of
right in front of
toys.
my statue case in the movie room. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't think you should listen to your audience to the comments. Yeah. See, this is just
I mean,
this is just messed up. This is
you, like,
inaccurate.
there are no rules for what you put in your background, so this is how you present yourself. And
This is actually fake. This is actually a fake background. This is a Zoom. I can can you
And
see I'm
then
kind of blurred? Yeah.
I'm just waiting for your kid to walk by and like serve you a drink.
I thought I was doing something cool with just artwork in my background.
It is cool. It is.
This is
Don't
art.
worry about it.
This is art. This is all.
Yeah.
all art.
All right, Ricky, what's the next thing you got for us?
Speaking of what's next in the MCU, we're getting an Elsa Bloodstone. This is another little tidbit that came out yesterday.
Is it official or is it
it says
is it a rumor?
reportedly, but everyone's reporting it, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna first off, the Werewolf by Night thing is not even confirmed yet. That's like the biggest
I thought it has been
unannounced secret. No,
I thought it's been confirmed because like they said Michael Giacchino or whatever is directing.
that was from like a Variety article, but nothing from Marvel has come out to acknowledge that this thing is coming out this year.
Okay.
So,
Oh well, yeah, but there's been stuff from Marvel to acknowledge that it exists, though, right?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
That's pretty cool.
Elsa
Elsa
Bloodstone.
Bloodstone. You had made the comic. We did the Next Wave show last year, right? So this is another piece of that puzzle.
She's a Midnight Sun, and she's also a member of Next Wave. Yeah, she's very much in the same kind of realm as like Blade, like doing a lot of supernatural monster fighting. Her literal full title is Elsa Bloodstone Monster Hunter. So that's what she does. And so if she shows up, yeah, I think Frank, when I was chatting with him, he actually said we're one step closer to Next Wave. If we ever get Next Wave as a MCU movie,
Laura Donnelly is the.
My brain will completely break. Like if you guys have never read Next Wave, like that was like the one comic we got Ricky to read last year, and I'm so proud of it because like that was hard. It was a cool ass comic.
I read that on my phone.
I'm sorry, Ricky. but did you like it?
I did enjoy the comic and the had some cool art. They did some really crazy shit in there.
I've never read Next Wave, so that will be on my reading list.
Next Wave, written by Warren Ellis and drawn by Stuart Immonen, and it's a bonkers ass comic that is about 10 years old now, right?
It's no,
maybe 20 years old, maybe 20 years old, something like that. Yeah,
it's a little dated in some aspects. I thought it was pretty good,
but it's pretty hilarious. It's a comedic comic book. But it just takes a random group of characters and puts them together as a team, and you're like, I don't know anything about Elsa Bloodstone, but here we go. And so you just kind of learn. I guess they kind of introduced her in that one, right? Like they gave her origin story in that book, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways, that's cool.
Ready to talk about some toys?
Oh man. Do I need a drink before that? Because it's like there's a lot.
Joel's stretching right now. Just getting ready.
Do the math at home.
Limber
Every
up.
toy means Dennis spent at least $30. So
not at least $30. That doesn't mean that, but oh damn, I don't have the prices, but I did put them on the slides. But anyways, we're just gonna go through these slides really quick. We got some slides.
How often do you buy toys? Just
Hasbro's weird nowadays because like of global shipping and stuff like that. So like I pre-order toys probably once a month, but like I don't get charged for them until they ship them. And sometimes they go months without it because of global shipping. And then next thing you know, in December, I get like 18 boxes of shit delivered to me all at once. And my credit card gets billed. I'm like, whoa. But no, it's they used to do probably one wave every other month, but once the MCU kicked in, like once they started like making toys for not just comic books but for also the movies, they were able to start filling like pretty much every month with a set of figures.
That actually makes me feel a lot better because I pre-ordered the Nerf pulse rifle from Hasbro, and I still have
no.
not.
Yeah.
I haven't
You
seen
should cancel that
anything.
pre-order because
Why?
that's not. I mean, as a Nerf enthusiast, that is not the best Nerf gun out there.
Oh my
No,
god.
I bought it because it's a pulse rifle. I have
Yeah.
a real pulse
Well, it
rifle.
makes the sound, yeah.
I have a real pulse rifle. It's like
Do you
I
really?
actually have the I have the stunt. I have the prop. The
Thank
actual. You pull it out. It
goodness.
actually changes.
Somebody's talking some sense here.
Mhm.
Tell me all about all the toys. All right, so we're going to talk about the toys that are pictured in front of us right now, rather than your Nerf pulse rifle that you ordered last year.
I was hoping.
So with the trailer I think kind of got forced. Like it had to happen, or the toys couldn't happen until
the toys
trailer.
leaked like a week
the toys,
before
the toys leaked a few days before. Yeah, like about 5 days before this trailer
Mhm.
came out, because they were already hitting stores. Like they were starting to hit stores.
Oh shit.
Like not like on the shelves, but like they were getting stocked in the back.
Like a similar thing happened to Shang-Chi, right?
Something like that. The Shang-Chi toys came out like in
Oh, yeah,
April.
that was the COVID thing too. Yeah,
And they came out in April because the movie was supposed to come out way earlier in the summer. And then Shang-Chi ended up coming out in August. So by then, all the Shang-Chi toys were marked like 50% off and stuff like that. And but anyways, with the Thor trailer came the new Thor figures. So here we go. We got 2 figures for Chris Hemsworth. We got one in his Ravager outfit and one in his brand new Thor outfit. Both of them, you get a Stormbreaker with him. I think they look pretty cool.
Is that Jack Burton in a vest?
Dude, do you remember I think it was the late 80s or 90s version of Thor called Thunderstrike, where he totally rocked like a vest and jeans and he just looks super stupid. This is an awesome homage to
I like
that
the
outfit.
pants. He has like the classic blue pants with the yellow.
Yep.
Well, he's got blue
thingies.
jeans with the yellow boot thingies. He's wearing jeans, dude. But it's awesome. I love these looks. But yeah, keep it going. Keep it going. And then we got 2 ladies
Look
in the
at
way.
those arms.
We got
arms aren't
big
big
ass. No, they're big. Trust me.
Yeah,
Those are big arms on the Mighty Thor, which is what they're calling Natalie Portman. She comes with an alternate unhelmeted head, so you can get your Natalie Portman nerd wishes fulfilled however you want. Just pop the head off, put it on a slimmer body if you want. If you don't want the roid rage, figure, or if that's your thing, then there you go. And then we also get Valkyrie in a brand new suit. She's actually called King Valkyrie. I don't know if that's a spoiler. That's not really a spoiler, right? She was
king
in
in Endgame.
Yeah,
she became king in Endgame.
Yeah,
she did. So it's a slightly new outfit with her, but she comes with her dragon fang sword as usual.
Now, is it me or is King Valkyrie, her arms for the toy look huge? I remember her arms looking like this in the trailer.
She was in a suit, dude.
Yeah,
she was like
suit.
relaxing. You didn't see her like she was bored.
She looks pretty jacked as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
she's gonna
excited.
be jacked for sure.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Well,
Keep
standing
going.
next to Natalie Portman, I'm like,
We don't know. We haven't seen
Yeah.
Valkyrie's
I'm
gunshot
hoping
yet.
everybody just looked at Natalie Portman and said, "I need that."
What if just everybody's jacked? What if even even Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher is jacked up? I can honestly say I know almost zero about this character, so I don't care how faithful it is to the way he looks in the comics.
I honestly think he looks cooler in the comics. Like I saw this and he just looks like.
I think in the comics he looks like Ebony Maw, and I don't think we want to confuse audiences.
He looks like Ebony Maw, but you could actually do a in between.
It's basically you want a nose or no nose, right? Like that's the difference.
I mean, do you want it to look like a ghetto Harry Potter villain or not?
I would like him to look cooler. I hope he looks cooler in the movie. I'm just hoping.
Think he's rocking like a Ken doll under the skirt, or is he has undies?
I don't know, but like even in the comic books, Gore the God Butcher, he was like on hooves, like his feet didn't look like human feet.
Is he barefoot? Maybe he has little hooves under his shoes.
I don't know. We'll have to
wait till June 8th.
Yeah, but that's supposedly your villain. And then to top off the wave, we got a couple Guardians because we're still doing the as Guardians of the Galaxy in this story. So we got Chris, not just one Chris, but we got two. We got Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. It's an updated, it's like a brand new figure. It looks cool.
New
And
outfit.
then
Did his facial hair look like that in the trailer?
Looks a little more red.
it's definitely got a fuller hair of facial hair in the movie now. And then we also get a new Groot figure, which honestly, this is a reused figure. This is this figure.
I felt like they've seen a Teen Groot before.
Teen Groot has existed before as a toy, but they added new accessories so you can have like the long, like outstretched hands and stuff like that. But yeah, there has been a Teen Groot figure before. So hey, they gotta cut corners where they can, right? They're cranking these things out every month. And then all together, when you put them all together, you get a brand new Korg figure, and he's adorable. He looks awesome in his Viking warrior outfit. I kind of love this one better than the old one. Like the old one's just Korg wearing.
Why does he need like fur? Like, does he get cold? He's just like rocks.
Hey man, it's what he's trying to dress like the Vikings. He's living in Asgard now. He's dressing like the people. I mean, is it appropriation? He's not taking it to sell that somewhere else.
You don't know that.
You don't know that he is. You don't know that he is.
Tune into July 8th to find out if Korg is appropriating or not.
And by the way, Travis is saying that the Gore is coming complete with a black demon sword. The one thing I do know about Gore, by the way, is that his sword once belonged to Null, the king of the symbiotes. That's the only thing I know. Yeah,
the tie-in with Venom.
It's a Venom thing. Yeah. So all of those figures, that's the entire Thor wave of figures. Those are actually going to go up on sale starting April 26th, so next week. Those are actually going to be on stores already. But then Hasbro didn't stop there. Like 2 days after those got shown off, they did a whole a live stream to show off the Spider-Man figures to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man. So they're cranking out figures like crazy, and most of these are just available on Amazon and stuff. But there's a few that are like fan channel exclusives, which means you can only buy them online and stuff. But this is the first one I put up for you guys. The Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man. This is so cool. Yeah, it's Spider-Man the way he looked when he first appeared, and I just love it. He's got pinless arms, pinless legs. He's got the web pits or web wings, I guess, whatever you want to call them. He's got the dorky spider on his chest. Look at that thing. Look how stupid that thing looks. It's awesome.
I was about to say that was the one thing. That was the only problem I had with that. I was like, "It's a cool looking toy," but really, that spider, it looks like a tick.
And
it does look like a tick.
And he's got the Steve Ditko eyes. Look at those eyes. They're really
look at that
really
box.
Accurate.
Ain't no plastic in there.
And that is, Hasbro is showing off the new boxes that they're going forward with in the future. Currently, they're only doing that with online stuff so that you don't have to worry about, not getting the thing you want. But they are moving towards being more eco-friendly by eliminating all plastic aside from the toy itself in the box.
Nice.
A lot of people are pissed about that because a lot of people are like mint in box collectors who like to display their toy never opened. And that looks fucking stupid. I'm just going to say, if you just got a picture of a toy with nothing else, it's kind of dumb.
Do we know what, like, I understand the picture right here is showing us the box and then the toy. What if you get the box and you take it home, give it little Timmy,
and there's nothing in there,
and then you open it up and it's a Barbie? Like, like
exactly
the plastic. How do you know you're getting exactly?
That's what I'm going to be doing to Ricky for Christmas. All of these.
I work in customer service. I know how to handle it.
Yeah. Whoa.
No, that's why you have to buy 3 of them. Like one to open, one to shelf, and one just in case. Right?
One goes in the jar, so you need another one. Yeah.
I throw all the boxes in the recycling, so I don't give a crap. Moving on. We got a 2-pack also of Spinneret and Spider-Man from Renew Your Vows. It was a Secret Wars spin-off storyline.
I bought this one as well.
This figure is awesome, and it's very understated in the pictures, but this is the first Spider-Man in, I want to say, maybe 15, 20 years of the line. to have toe articulation. He
Them
actually
toes.
bends at the toes, which is just seems like a no-brainer for a Spider-Man, but it's really cool. It's also got pinless arms and legs. He is probably, I've seen reviews that are already saying the best Spider-Man 6-inch figure ever made. He's great, but
Do
you
you
can
think
only
they
get
like
him if you buy
hold
this box set.
technology like that? Like, hey, these nerds are gonna buy it.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. That's
Wait till
called
2023 where they drop the next big thing.
that's called monetization. That's how you do it. Keep going. Yeah, and then they also have
Hey,
another
there's that sword
2-pack.
again.
Like I mentioned before, I think it's a different sword, but this is Null and Venom. They actually just repainted movie Venom as comic book Venom and threw some giant bat wings on him, and he looks pretty metal. But like, I don't know anything about this, but it's pretty cool. It's cool
dumb.
looking. It's cool
That's
looking.
cool.
I wonder if they're gonna show Null in the Love and Thunder.
Only Sony lets them.
No, because Sony's got him. That's a Venom character.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's all dumb. They'll probably show that sword just so that Sony can't do it. You know what I mean? They'll be like, you can't use a sword. And then we got two more individual figures. This is a stealth version of Future Foundation Spider-Man in black and white. And then the Iron Spider, which I think is super cool.
How about the Iron Spider too?
This is how he looks like in the comics. Yeah. And then those are, and then if you like the movie stuff, you got a 2-pack finally. Your first Ned toy ever. Look at this thing.
Your only Ned toy ever.
Hey,
Nice.
you don't know about that. You don't know. But keep going. There's even alternate heads. Oh my God, that head is amazing looking.
There's
That's
no
so
like
cool.
little like a Palpatine figure for him to like, come build the Death Star.
I don't know that they can sell a Lego toy in a Hasbro box, but
missed opportunity.
it's super cool. It's a Ned and Peter Parker 2-pack from Spider-Man Homecoming. I love it. I think it's just awesome, and you finally get a Ned figure, the guy in the chair, and then I think there was a few more things in there, Ricky, because they just kept going. They kept going. Keep
That's
going.
actually not a bad.
Oh shit! More Spider-Man.
Nice.
Target exclusive Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man Noir. This freaking figure. Supposedly it exists on Target's website. I've never seen it like for reals, but I'll get it. But all of these come out in December, so you got a ways to go, anyways. And then they also confirmed what I think Ricky dropped a few weeks ago, that they promised that there will be figures from all 3 Spider-Men that were featured in No Way Home, but the turnaround time is usually like 12 to 16 months, and Disney refused to give them any details about the official spoilers. So Hasbro actually didn't know for sure that all 3 Spider-Men were going to be in the movie until we did when we saw it in theaters.
So they just took the leftovers from the other movies and just kind of throw them in a box and
no, they promised they're making brand new figures for all of them.
You got to sculpt each one, right?
Because Hasbro didn't actually even own the license until after the Toby ones were done.
Oh no way!
I think So
the more you know.
And then just to top it off, not Spider-Man related, they finally revealed the final figure in the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends.
Toad?
It's Toad.
Get your Toad on.
Why'd they
He
slim
looks
him
pretty
down? I like my chunky Toad.
This is how he looked like in the 90s when like Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and stuff were drawing the X-Men. I prefer this. I think this is the better Toad. What do you think? Do you like your Toad from old school, Joel, or do you like him like this?
Yes, I remember first introduction to Toad is when I saw the X-Men cartoon where Toad and Storm were fighting, where that actually happened in the cartoon. That was like my first introduction to Toad, and Toad was
how he comes with the toads.
Yeah.
And she still asked him what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning.
No, that is not what happened then.
Okay. I think that's all that news that we got.
That was a lot, dude.
It was a lot. I'm sorry.
It was some good toys, though.
It was a lot of toys, and
get some good news.
I felt obligated to share my love of them.
We haven't had a toy minute in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm just checking. I think I got this set up right. We got to give you guys a game really quick before we move on to Moon Knight. We're gonna run a little late, but
let's do it.
We got to do it.
Get ready.
All right. So I did things different. Normally I prepare like little slides for you guys and stuff, and it's really fun. But it's a little extra, and I figured, like, if everybody's gonna be drunk and stuff, it's gonna go unappreciated anyways. So what I thought I'd do is instead do a kind of like Ricky's old 10 questions, where he let you, he gave you infinite amount of time to ask 10 questions to figure out, to narrow
infinite amount of time
to narrow down who the comic book character was that he had in mind. I decided to do the reverse of that, and I'm not going to limit the amount of yes or no questions you ask, but I am going to limit it to one per person, and I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Who wants to go first?
Wait, we can only ask one question each?
No, that's actually the opposite of what I said.
You said you're going to limit to one per person. Or one person guessing at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Clarification.
Yes. That means you're going to shut the hell up when it's somebody else's turn. That's what that means. All right. Cool. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll get me out of the way, so I get my
All right.
out of the way, so that way I can.
Can
I phone a friend?
Joel,
help me out.
Good. I've got a comic book character picked out for Eric to guess.
All right, sweet.
I'm gonna do my best to answer yes or no to your questions, right?
All right.
And from that, you're gonna have to decide. And you know what? Just to be nice, like, if you haven't guessed it by the minute, I'll give you one last guess after the minute's up.
All right, that sounds good.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I got the clock ready to go.
Shit, no.
Here you go. Yes or no questions only. All right. Go.
Marvel.
No.
DC.
No.
Oh shit. Dark Horse.
No.
Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Is it part of the Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
Oh shit. Are they green?
It's meant to be.
Yes.
Is it one of the 4 turtles?
Yes.
Oh, do they wear red? Did they? No, that's
yes.
Sorry. That's no question. That's all of them. Did they wear green? Is it Leo? Is it Raph?
No.
Is it Mikey?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations.
Wow,
23 seconds. You gave me an easy one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you gave me an easy one.
I gave you an easy one.
My heart.
Wow.
I just want to make sure.
I was so nervous.
There it is. I had them
nervous.
lined up. I wasn't sure which order I had them in, so I wanted to make sure I didn't reveal the wrong thing. Congratulations, you did it, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my apologies for the does he wear red, because that was a dumb question since he all
That was a dumb question.
Yeah.
It kind of hurt because I'm like,
it did hurt. Yeah, I think I lost valuable time during
known.
that. I know.
All right.
Good job, Eric. You did.
Thank you.
Good.
I appreciate you making that easy for me.
I will go next.
You're gonna go next.
Yes.
All right, count it down.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this now.
Okay. DC.
Yes.
Justice League.
No.
Villain.
No. Well, Justice League. Do I want to say yes to Justice League? I'm gonna say.
Yeah, not my time.
Maybe. Yeah. No. It was no. Keep going.
Okay. Is he a villain or a superhero? Villain.
No.
Hero.
Yes.
Okay. Shazam.
No. You're already going with the names.
Okay. Okay. Is he one of the main 3? But
no. But I don't know where you decided it's a he.
Or is it a man or a woman?
Yes or no?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay. Is Superman?
No.
Batman?
No.
Aquaman?
I did say no on Justice League, by the way.
You did?
I did say no.
Hey, we're out of time.
Yes. I said yes. I thought you said yes.
No, I said no.
Okay.
That was
One last question. I was gonna ask.
Shoot, that was my bad.
Oh.
And that means Ricky doesn't get to guess one because I got them lined
Wait.
up in the wrong order.
Grifter is not on. Wait, Grifter. What? Grifter is not Justice League.
I know. That's why I said no.
That's what you said.
I said
no.
DC.
Yeah, he is DC.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
damn it! You're right. He is.
Oh my
DC.
God! Did you
I
work
am
on
right.
the comic book?
Yes, I was thinking DC Image, two difference. I wasn't even thinking down the
Oh my
line.
gosh.
Is that Deadpool?
But he wasn't.
We literally just said his name is Grifter.
He looks like Deadpool.
I love
Am
the
I
Wildcats,
wrong?
man.
Like he looks like Deadpool. Like
Nah,
Travis.
he doesn't look like Deadpool.
Yeah, I should have asked.
You just
like,
got
if
really,
the image comes.
you got stuck. And the best part is after I threw you off with the male or female, you still asked if it was Wonder Woman. That was amazing. That was amazing. I really appreciate
well,
that.
she
And
transcends. So
no, she doesn't. She is a woman. She doesn't transcend being Wonder Woman. It's literally in her name. Like, it's okay.
Okay, that was a harder one than Ninja Turtles because
I'll agree.
even though it was DC,
Oh yeah, I just kind
It
of
was-
figured, since I gave Eric one that was so near and dear to his heart, I just kind of figured that I would give you the character that your brother is
Should have been a
famous for
Galaxy
making.
Ranger.
That you
I
probably
worked
had
on-
infant. Yeah, I know you
I
did.
worked on this
Yeah,
character.
Yeah, I know. So it's
Yikes.
almost like I was giving you really easy
Awkward.
softballs, and somehow you just didn't want to go there, and
Oh,
so
well, I wasn't even thinking Image Comics. Okay, I didn't understand the rules.
yeah, that's probably
where-
because I said DC, and he is DC.
Yes, technically, yes, you are right. He is DC, but I didn't think
Technically, I'm right.
DC.
I'm sorry, Ricky. I screwed up the game for you, but we probably do need to move on to Moon Knight anyways.
All right, it's
But
Electro.
I know.
Oh, man, that was
Yeah, I was about to say,
Oh,
Ricky, who's
man.
that
Yeah.
character?
I believe Ricky would have gotten that.
That was
though.
your seconds, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think Ricky would have gotten Electro. Apologies for that, but I will give you one next time, Ricky.
Okay.
But I just really wanted to give our guests a chance to throw out their nerd wisdom, and Eric didn't fail me, so
Split.
50, yeah, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right?
Yeah.
yeah, 1 out of 2, and I do believe Ricky would have gotten
Yeah,
Electro. He's pretty
I'm
good.
still
All right,
more
so 2 for
talented
3.
than Eric.
So
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good. Okay. Anyways, why don't we move on to the thing that we're all here to talk about? Let's do the thing. All right, we've waited long enough. It's time to put a spotlight on Moon Knight episode 4. The Tomb is what it was titled. But before we do, spoiler warning, if you haven't watched it yet, please turn away and come back when you have. You'll thank us later. And then for anyone who chose to ignore that warning still after that, here's a quick summary. Without the aid of Khonshu, Mark and Steven must find balance as supernatural threats ahead look to stop them and Layla. That's kind of like the simple summary. That's not quite a spoiler. But yeah, I want to talk about the show and like overall what you guys think of it. Like not just this episode, but like I haven't checked in with you guys this whole season. So like Eric and Joel, let us know. What do you think of the show so far?
Do you want to
for
go first, Eric, or me?
No, go.
Okay, I'll go.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll get in real quick. I'm enjoying it. Go, Benji.
All right. Well, I'm enjoying it, but I kind of feel like the last episode definitely took me in a direction where I kind of feel like the first 3 episodes were bogus, because it feels like this last episode made me feel like now the first 3 episodes was taking place all in his head.
It's about the journey, you know?
No, I don't think so. But I'm interested that you think that. So
Mhm.
explain why you think it's real.
Well,
So you're talking about the hallucination, the last 10 minutes of the episode, where after he's shot dead, Mark
Goes in the gross water.
suddenly is in an insane asylum, surrounded by all of the characters that we've met on the show for the entire three episodes before. And it's pretty weird. And he's got a Moon Knight action figure that just so happens to be this guy repainted to look more like the one in the show. But yeah, why do you think it's everything that happened before is not real?
Because if it was real and the way they're maneuvering everything right now, why is everybody, even people that the main bad guy didn't know anything about, like the people in the museum, the lady who made the passport, all that stuff, they were also in the insane asylum.
Here's my counter question to you. Aside from that asylum looking completely like the unsafest asylum ever,
yes,
like we're talking about like exposed, like textured brick walls.
From experience, Dennis knows what a good asylum is.
Yeah, exactly. But what makes me think it's real? Simple answer. Why would we spend 10 good minutes following Layla if this has all been Mark's hallucination?
And again, that
Like
could
there's
also
entire
be,
there's entire
that could
sections
also
of that
be-
story that don't have Mark in it or Steve.
but that could also be part of his psyche, because I believe there's another character, another person in another personality that they have not introduced yet. If they do introduce him, that is a movie star. He's an action star or something like that.
No, so Stephen Grant is actually in the comics the
Yeah.
rich one who is the playboy who also at one point in his story during a Brian Michael Bendis run, he actually pays to have a low budget TV show of his life made into production, and
Yeah,
so that was an homage.
But I kind of feel like that's the way they are blending all this stuff. It's kind of like it's like a red herring when they're taking you in one direction and they pull you in a totally different direction. They make you think it's one thing and it's something totally different, and that's why I kind of, because keep in mind they only have 2 episodes left, so they can't really.
It's only 2 episodes left. It's 2 episodes left, and this is going to end with a Moon Knight that's ready to go in the MCU.
Well, if you follow the Disney Plus logic, the next episode we get the backstory, right? And then the last episode they fight.
No, I think the next episode you get you will get the backstory, but you'll also get a resolution to what we're seeing here. What I kind of liked about this, and by the way, the ultimate reason I don't think it's a hallucination is because the very end is if it's reality, if you're actually saying it's reality, then him being greeted by a hippopotamus woman at the very end in Egyptian garbs is pretty much the furthest thing from reality that
I mean, the MCU is pretty wild.
But yeah, the MCU is wild. But for those that weren't sure or whatever, that character was actually Taweret. I'm bad at pronouncing my Egyptian gods, but she is the god of hope and actually is also the god that ushers the dead to safety, to the next plane. So that is her function in Egyptian lore or mythology, whatever. So reasonably, it's safe to assume that Stephen actually is dying, and that is why he's being greeted by Taweret.
But it's not the fact that he's what you got. Okay, this
or
is
Mark is dying, rather. Sorry.
This is my thing. It's like, again, it can't be in his all through it, only in his head, because if it's only his head, doesn't make a bigger purpose for him joining the Avengers, because they wouldn't make a show unless he's going to be one of the Avengers characters. Now the thing is that if it's all in his head, it makes no sense for that from that standpoint. So Moon Knight has to show up some way, shape, or form. So I kind of feel like they kind of did that left turn for the audience to make the audience go like, what's going to happen next?
So I think it would have been. I think the other way you can see that it's most likely the last part of it is the misdirect is they could have ended the episode when he gets shot. They could have, and the next episode could have started with the asylum, and that would have pissed people the fuck off.
That's actually
yeah. So I think pacing wise, they knew that they had to insert that at the end of this episode so that you can have this fun debate that we're having as nerds, which is say which one is real. Is the first 40 minutes real, or is the last 15 minutes real? You know what I mean? But I think the real easy answer is like, duh, it's obviously going to be the stuff that we've been watching for the last 3 weeks, because that's the only way to get it to be fun MCU hijinks for the next 10 years. Like, come on.
So hilarious. It would be so hilarious if the whole next episode they leave it in the insane asylum, and
I wouldn't mind it if it stays there,
because it pushes everybody in belief that it is in his head. And then in the last episode, they basically take it to the real world, and they are like, it's not in his head. Here's the thing, though. this is a problem, and this is something I've noticed in the new Marvel TV shows. I don't feel like the bad guy is a real bad guy. It's like he's not doing anything to make me go like, ooh, like compared to like the Kingpin.
He's literally doing Thanos' exact move all over again. His plan is to kill like everybody that will ever do crime ever.
You're either pro baby murder or not pro baby murder.
But the thing is that they're not showing him do like so far he's killed one person, that one old lady in an episode 2 episodes ago. Like he hasn't.
He also killed a homeless guy when he gave him the steroid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right.
He also shot Mark in the chest twice with a gun.
Hitler get his hands dirty.
Yeah, but I don't feel like he's like this is the problem.
How many people do you need to see him actually murder before you're like,
what's your number?
Maybe 2, 3 myself correctly, but you gotta think of it from a standpoint is like this guy is basically the main character is being judged by gods, and he's supposed to be the main bad guy is supposed to be God-like because he has these tattoos that move.
No,
he's just touching people.
He's the avatar. He's an avatar of a god.
Yeah, but still, just looking at it from the standpoint, the standpoint. I'm laughing at Travis.
Nobody has to be all bad, but the murder part is bad.
He's all bad. I'm just trying. I'm just
misunderstood.
I'm trying to think of it from the standpoint of now. You understand where I'm coming from with this. It's like I'm gauging this new series of people or superheroes, which you not even let me do the defense.
Travis says worst defense ever.
Not even let me do a defense.
Was that on your bingo card for tonight, guys? Worst defense ever.
Oh, take a shot.
I'm gauging this whole new series of superheroes against the old series of superheroes, and the way they built them up is that in each scale there was an essence of like the bad guy was doing some fucked up shit. So I'm looking at a lot of the bad guys that I'm seeing so far. I'm just like, are these really Avengers level events, Avenger level threats that is coming up?
Hey, as a reminder, the entire galaxy shifted 2,000 years backwards in front of the entire world to see.
From the god on the good guy's side.
Well, is he the god on the good guy's side?
They're all kind of shitty.
So I think you're kind of misremembering Moon Knight from the comics. Like, is he a superhero or is he an anti-hero?
Okay, it's actually funny what Travis is saying is actually funny because there's an essence of truth there. There's an essence of truth there. The old superheroes against the new superheroes, and I'm feeling so far. I'm not feeling the new superheroes. I'm really not.
I feel like Moon Knight could take a majority of the old ones right now, based off of just what we've seen. Like, he's pretty ridiculous. If he survives,
but the thing is that Moon Knight probably could, because Moon Knight is technically
he's like one of the only dudes that has like healing, right?
He is. There's no Wolverine yet. So
it's
him and the Hulk. Him and the Hulk and Spider-Man, I guess, can heal. Yeah.
Can Thor heal? Because Thor doesn't.
I don't know. Whatever. Hurt. Hey, why don't we let Eric talk for a little bit?
Yes.
Show good.
What was your favorite thing about this episode?
No, dude. I know we're focusing a lot on the last 15 minutes, which I really enjoyed. Just that twist, but just like I was getting like a lot of Mummy vibes, from like going inside and everything.
But like good, right? Mummy vibes, but good.
Like the old Mummy. Well, 1 and 2 were just like super fun, and they're kind of kitschy and everything like that, but they were still like, I don't know, man. Those are good movies. But
I thought
Scorpion King. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I thought the action and the scares in this held up to any Mummy movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely got Indiana Jones vibes.
Yeah,
I definitely got Indiana Jones vibes. I was watching this one. I was just like, they're definitely going to Indiana Jones route with this, and I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
There's no problems with it.
Yeah, it was super fun. So I really I think that's the part that stood out the most for me. And then just like Mark punching Steven. I thought that
After
was
he
pretty,
kissed Layla. Yeah.
after he kissed her. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I love the dynamic just between the two and everything. So, but the teeth biting.
The chittering noise that the embalmer mummy or whatever was making. That was pretty creepy.
It's super
cool.
creepy. Super creepy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Crazies or something like that.
Oh,
They
yeah,
would do,
yeah.
kind of weird little biting noises in that horror movie, and
Yeah.
I was getting vibes from that. So, but yeah, just that whole scene, I super enjoyed that, and having Steven, not Mark, kind of like going through all that kind of stuff. I love the dynamic between Mark and Steve. One's kind of like the action hero, the other one's like the the scientist, kind of the know-it-all kind of thing. So having those two bounce back and forth is super fun.
It's literally Indiana Jones split in half. Like one is the Indiana Jones that is the action star, and then one is the Indiana Jones that's the teacher.
Yeah.
It is. It really
for
is.
Sure,
yeah.
dude.
When I was watching it the first time and suddenly it got scary and there's like blood, they're hinting at things. They're showing you the blood splatters. Then they're showing you the meat pieces, and then they're showing you giant bloodstains dragging down the hallway. And I was like, did this show take a tonal shift? And then I thought about it and I was like, actually, it's no more of a shift than any Indiana Jones movie, where at some point they like to give you just a little bit of scare and a little bit of tingles and excitement because you don't know what Indy's about to find. But I do appreciate, I think probably the smartest man I've ever seen in a horror situation when he says, so I'm seeing a lot of bones and stuff go that way, so why don't we maybe go in a different direction? And I freaking love Steven for that. That was the smartest move ever, man. I just loved him for that. But yeah, it did feel Indiana Jones, and I'm not mad at it for that. Like, it's been a while since we've had an indie story,
Well, a good indie story. We've had indie stories, just not good ones.
The only indie movie that I've seen fall through is a Crystal Skull.
Oh,
what? You're just showing your
I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones.
Never
sat down and watched them.
You're showing how of a horrible person you are that you've never
I like
seen
the ride.
The
ride's pretty cool.
I like the ride.
Wow.
Yeah.
The ride is good though.
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
The
ride is very good.
The ride is fun. The movies are better, but the ride, well,
the ride's
except
pretty fun.
except Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull is just dog shit. But
Ricky, what sold you on this episode? I'm interrupting. Joel,
you were
Joel,
touching on it,
to...
but so it's one thing to show blood, and it's another thing to show chunks of meat. And I don't think we've ever gotten chunks of meat in the MCU like that. Like, I was just a little like, oh, we can do that now. That's kind of cool. But like specifically
do you not count Thanos' head rolling around as a chunk of meat?
I don't.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a head of meat.
Because you know what that is. You don't know what we saw on Moon Knight.
Did they show Thanos' head after it got chopped off?
You see it pop off for like a second. Yeah,
I know you see it get chopped off, but do you see it actually off the
I think Rocket picks it up, or no, he picks up the arm.
He picks up the arm.
But
again, an arm and whatever, splitting hairs at this point.
Because it's more gnarly when it's just like a lump of meat rather than an item.
For sure.
But specifically with this episode, when the mummy thing attacks Layla, and she like chops off his arm, and then he proceeds to try to stab her with his like bone nub. Like I saw it happen. I'm like, oh, is he gonna try to like do it? And he started doing it. I'm like, oh my god.
And she fought back with his other bone nub too.
That's like some Eli Roth shit. Like,
yeah, it was definitely the best moment that I don't remember being in one of the Mummy movies for sure.
It raised the bar.
It felt like something from a Mummy movie, but better.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
Oh, okay, we can.
Can we at least agree that the first Mummy movie was not bad?
No, I think it's great.
Wow, you don't like any of them.
You know.
Mm-mm.
Wow,
I don't like.
Tough
I mean, those are.
I don't like any of them.
My Indiana Jones, if you want to.
Because you know what? Because the Mummy is supposed to be a monster movie, and I'm supposed to be scared.
What?
And, the Mummy is a comedy. all the
The
way
mu-
through. It's an
I
action
never
comedy.
thought that Mummy was supposed to be a horror movie. I always thought of it was supposed to be like an action
Dude,
comedy.
do you know how they make mummies?
Well, yes, I know how they make mummies, but
They literally pull everything out from your nose.
can you
That
honestly
is
say?
cool.
But can you honestly say anything that Brandon Fraser ever did made you scared?
Exactly. That's why I don't like the movie. You proved my point for me.
I just thought they went down. It's like
I'm
to me,
saying the mummy as a character is supposed to be scary. I'm not saying the mummy as a movie succeeded at that at all. I'm
Well-
saying the mummy has existed for countless years before the Brandon Fraser ones.
so
And they were always billed as horror movies. But
Hmm.
they tried to rebrand, and I'm fine with that. I understand that you
do you
gotta
like
you gotta hit a
Have
new
you seen the
audience.
classic Mummy movies or no?
Do you
Uh,
like the?
I've seen mummy movies that are scary, not the classic mummy movies, but I've
Did
seen
you-
mummy stories that are scary.
Did you like the Tom Cruise version better? Because
No, that is awful too.
That one
I
was
saw that
supposed to be
movie,
more
yes.
like action
Yes.
horror.
You know what's better than both of those? This episode of Moon Knight. It really was. It was the best not mummy thing.
I think what we're all getting at is it's been a while since we had some good mummy in our lives, right?
Yeah, dude, that was cool.
You know.
It was scary. It was like scary, and they had the whole jump out of the shadows thing and grab Layla, and you're like, oh shit, it got her. But then she fought back and whatever.
But it's also fucking wild that like in the Moon Knight show, 2 out of the 4 episodes have almost no Moon Knight basically. Like I
That's
get it's an
cool.
origin, but it's like,
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he's gonna show up in the next episode. I don't think Moon Knight's
he's
coming.
gonna
in
show up
the
at the
next
end.
episode.
I think he'll be in
He
the
gets
next
the suit
episode.
back at the end of the next
You
episode.
you
That's
rescue
like,
you rescue Khonshu. You solve your mental problems. You overcome death, and you rescue Khonshu in the next episode, so that the final episode is dealing with whatever the hell Harrow's gonna
Now,
do.
is it bad that they're gonna solve his mental illness in one episode?
They're not gonna solve his mental illness. They're gonna solve whatever this thing is, this delusion that he believes to be reality for the moment.
I am with you where I feel like he'll show up. He won't be in the whole episode till the last like 5-10 minutes.
They're never gonna solve his mental illness. That's gonna be a part of the character forever, and it's gonna be the most charming thing ever when he interacts with the MCU. Because sometimes they're gonna get Moon Knight, sometimes they're gonna get Mr. Knight, and they're gonna be like, "What's with the costume change, bro?" And what's with the accent? And you're never gonna know. They're never gonna get it explained to them. I don't think the Hulk or Falcon, or Captain America or the Winter Soldier, they're never gonna get this origin story that we got. So this is our special thing for being Disney Plus subscribers. And then when you go into movie world, there's gonna be like, who's that guy? I don't know. He's crazy. He's crazy.
I'm almost guaranteed they're still gonna have to, when he gets into the movie world, they're gonna have to give some kind of explanation of who he is.
Yeah, they'll give it in the fun way that is always like one line and makes you laugh, and then we move on to the actual action and blowing up planets and shit like that. That's what they're gonna do, and I'm here for it, man, because this character is hilarious.
Oh no,
And
I am 1000% here for it.
Yeah, but I still want to hear more from Eric, because what was something that you rolled? Was there anything that you rolled your eyes at in this episode?
An eye roll.
There doesn't have to be, by the way.
I did. I
Yeah.
had one.
I defer my minute to Benji.
You guys got to be careful, because we got him actually watching the show.
Oh, he's here. All right,
talking
well,
shit about him.
Yeah.
I have one eye roll moment. The moment where what's her name? The girl.
Layla
is
the girl.
behind.
He said.
Yeah, I can't. I've been drinking and I'm horrible with names. Where she's behind the car and there's a guy with a freaking 50 caliber gun shooting at her, and they're just. I feel like those guys who was trying to kill him weren't really trying to kill him. They were just trying to like scare him, because they pull up on him, shoot at him, let him go down the hill. Don't shoot at him anymore.
Out there.
They get to the bottom of the hill. They shoot at him more. They let him get out of the car, run around the car, light a flare, throw it underneath the car, run behind the car, and they just creeping.
You think they were bad at their job?
They're horrible at their job.
Maybe they're
You
new.
have a gun that big.
That's
Just
why
rip
they're
that car
that's why
to
they're dead. That's why they're
No,
dead.
that's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
just
That's
rip
why
the
they
car to
died.
pieces. Well,
That's why
I'm
they're
sorry.
dead.
It wasn't. This is a nitpick for me. When I see
I'm-
people with gunplay and they do dumb stuff with their
This
guns,
is me.
it makes
This is
no
me
sense.
rolling my eyes at you for being mad that the silly henchman failed at killing one of the protagonists of the story. The nameless henchman. Yeah. Moon Knight would like to know. He's about to take over the show. Apparently, anyone here got any questions to ask me about my show, to my history as a superhero? Yeah, I want to know, when did you decide to make your costume look cool and not look like a Klan member?
Yeah, where were you on January 6th midnight?
We'll give Moon Knight a second to answer that one. But I really do love the new look to the costume, and I like you got to believe, as a Marvel Legends collector, when I saw Steven in the psychiatric ward holding his action figure, I was like pausing. I was like, that's my toy. That's my toy.
Sell that toy right now.
They repainted it to look more like his costume in the show, and because the new figure isn't coming out for a few months for sure. But I was
going
really
to ask if that was like
seeing
the latest toy that was out, the one that you have.
It is the latest one. It is, but it was a Walgreens exclusive, so you can only get it from buying it at Walgreens. So it makes them kind of hard to find. Yeah, they do exclusives with Walgreens. But yeah, Travis can't believe you all came for Moon Knight. He can't believe that. Yeah, we have definitely more people in the audience than usual. But I'm fine with it because Moon Knight is awesome. Like I will honestly say I've never been a fan of him in the comics, but this show has converted me for sure. Like I love this character. I love Oscar Isaac. I love Ethan Hawke. I think he's doing half the job of selling this show. And it's
he's one of the stronger Disney Plus villains for sure.
Yeah.
Not according to Joel. He's not threatening enough. He hasn't killed enough people.
Yeah. Although I ask you this: how many people did Ultron kill in his movie?
Yeah, Ultron didn't kill anybody. Yeah, he was really horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
He attempted killing
giant goose egg.
Yeah, exactly.
He attempted to kill people.
Yeah,
it's just
to be fair, he did kill Quicksilver.
Yeah, he killed Quicksilver.
Okay. but that was at the end.
Like I just don't feel the purpose. That's the only thing. That's my only thing. I just don't feel.
And later we did find out he killed Zemo's family too. But that was not in his movie though.
Since I would say Dennis is the most Marvel experience here. In the episode they find Alexander the Great's tomb.
Yeah, that was
Alexander
cool.
the Great like different in the Marvel universe? Is he a superhero like back in the day?
No, I don't think Alexander the Great is a superhero back.
Well, they retcon like dumb shit like that, right?
I do like.
How is he so good?
I do like that they played with the idea. Well, Alexander the Great was a great conqueror in actual real life, not just in Marvel.
Yes.
So he was a great conqueror, and there are a lot of speculations because they've never found where he's buried or if he even is buried. But there's a lot of speculation that he may have been buried with the Egyptians because he's not Egyptian, and so there's a lot of speculation that he may have been. So it's really cool that I like whenever like shows or stories can do that and kind of work this like funny history in or like possible fictional history into the universe. So the idea that Alexander was the last avatar of Ammit and is buried there and they found him, I thought that was really cool. My wife, by the way, was looking up like really fun stuff about like tombs and learning all about them while we were watching it today. But she was learning because I was asking, I was like, what's kind of weird? Why are there not more cobwebs? Like, you know what I mean? Because like when they lock this thing up, you have to believe there's spiders that are in there.
In the desert.
That was actually something.
That's actually one of the dumbest things I've ever heard you say.
Tarantulas.
That was something.
Do you know what a tarantula is?
That was something I I was thinking about it because I watched it again this afternoon, and I was
Yeah,
like, "That's a very clean tomb.
but you know what?
It's
I learned,
sand, but
but what
there's no."
I did learn something to the contrary, or I mean to fix your preconceptions. Apparently, the Egyptians were so good at sealing those tombs, they actually vacuum sealed them. So uh, any air that was in there dissipated, over time, to the point where Egyptian tombs are so well preserved that when archaeologists open them, they have actually a limited time to excavate them before the oxygen starts breaking down anything that has protein still in it. So, so if there were spider webs, they actually would have broken down pretty quickly after they were exposed to air because they've been airless for hundreds and hundreds
like a
of
spider
years.
wouldn't live there.
Now,
Like,
are we? But
No, a spider
we
wouldn't
also
live
have to.
over time, but it would live there in the beginning when it first gets locked up.
We
You know what I
also
mean?
have to think of it from the standpoint of this is a comic book movie, so this is a film. It's like
Yeah, but
people aren't going to look at it as and think from the standpoint of like, what did they do in real life?
But what I'm
talking about
telling
a
you,
comic book.
what I'm telling you is it's actually more accurate than I thought. Like the cleanliness of them, it's because with no air in there, there's not going to be a buildup of dust and stuff over time.
Mhm.
Likely.
I am 1,000% on your page of it being accurate, but film wise, this is horrible. There's a lot of accurate things. There's a lot of accurate things that
Team
don't
Spider?
translate well for a film.
Are you fighting for the Spiders Actors Union? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looked
Lindsay-
really clean.
Lindsay actually was telling me she
Compared
read
to like
that.
an Indiana Jones, and you look at the Indiana Jones,
Yes,
those tombs.
but I'm saying when they made the Indiana Jones, they didn't know these details. Like apparently, that some of the tombs are so well preserved that when they open them, they can actually still smell the fresh bread and fruits and stuff that were offered to them. Not the moldy, rotten versions of them, but they still smell fresh because the air was gone before they ever, rotted and stuff.
Interesting.
Welcome to Tombcast, everybody.
I think that's super cool. But I don't think they knew that when they were making the Indiana Jones movies and stuff like that. So they filled them with giant cobwebs.
I don't think
so. What I'm
Indiana
saying
Jones is like trying to be culturally
Exactly.
accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Well,
the
I don't.
point.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
the
if it's
point.
cultural. I think it's just like science.
They're not trying to be.
Science,
They're not trying to be accurate to the point where, like, come on, Indiana Jones survived an atomic bomb in the refrigerator. It's like that. Honestly,
That's where you're going.
I'm just saying. It's like,
come on, man.
They do things to look cool. They don't do it because it's accurate.
This is what Travis has to say about our show. And I'm really re-questioning whether or not I even want him on the show after he's saying film-wise, this is horrible.
We don't have enough cobwebs in this show.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make a point. That's all
Okay.
I'm trying to do. Film-wise.
Well, here we go. So I want to give you the chance before we end the show. Now that you definitely made your case, even though it was called the worst offense ever, for what could be happening to Moon Knight that you might not like. But honestly, why don't you guys give us, before we end, your predictions of where this is going to go in the next 2 episodes? And I think Joel gets to go first since it's going to take the longest.
Yeah, more spiders, eh?
Yeah, a lot more spiders. No, honestly, I think we already talked about it. I think honestly, he's going to go through the mental aspect of his development in the next episode, and then he's going to release Khonshu or find Khonshu at the end, and he's going to be Moon Knight again right at the end. And then the whole 6th episode, hopefully, if Marvel wants to go out with a bang, they actually make the whole 6th episode a gigantic fight scene to actually show the essence of power of the main bad guy, and to show Moon Knight is a badass.
And because that's the thing that Marvel does in every story ever.
Like, make it a freaking episode long fight scene. It'll be great.
An episode long fight. You want an hour long fight scene, huh?
I want Endgame. I want Endgame. I want Endgame.
That was 20. That Endgame was not an hour long. Just so you know that.
No, I'm talking about just the fight scene at the end.
The fight scene is like an hour long.
It was 45 minutes.
No, I think it's 45.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. The fight scene is 45 minutes.
There was about 100 characters in that.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying there's an homage. I'm not necessarily saying it needs to be an hour long. This needs to be a long fight scene at the end to help bring
All
the
right.
people back
All right.
who aren't paying attention to the
More Moon Knight
story.
fighting, I think, would be a good thing in the Moon Knight
Yes.
show.
I would like
Yes.
more Moon Knight killing. I want him to kill more people.
Mhm.
I like when he kills. Eric, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the next 2 episodes?
Just along those lines, basically what Benji said and what everybody else has said during this thing. But also, I just want to see like kind of like the bond kind of form between like Conchu, is that am I pronouncing that
Mhm.
right? Mark and Steven, just like kind of like them just kind of getting along, like a little, because like obviously there was like they didn't know one another kind of throughout this process and everything. So them coming together and honestly, I don't want an hour long fight scene. Maybe just like fight scene with a little bit more cobwebs, and would be good. But
More cobwebs.
I'm
No.
sorry, I came with too much information about tombs.
No, man, that was actually really good, and that makes a lot of sense. But like my knowledge about New Moon Knight is like super limited. Like the only thing I was really introduced to, like when I was younger, was like looking at like Stephen Platt's like comic book covers, which were just like absolutely mind blowing when he was drawing Moon Knight. But I'm just excited to see where this character goes, and I want to, can't wait to see him, like you said, interact in the movies with the toys going against each other. So,
Yeah.
yeah. How about you guys?
Ricky, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen?
I think we're gonna find out who that third person is inside Mark and
Probably Jake Lockley.
Steven. And I think when Mark is referring to being there when Layla's father died, the night that he became Khonshu's avatar, I think the other guy he is referring to is what was it, Jake Lockley? I think that's ultimately he's the one that killed Layla's dad. But the third persona in them is the bad guy of the show. I don't necessarily think Harrow's the end all be all.
I still am wondering if Harrow is the villain of the story.
Mhm.
I
kind of like that idea of him fighting himself. However they do that in film, I don't know. But that third personality,
we saw it in this episode. He can punch himself. We saw that. Yeah.
I wonder if there's gonna be an essence where they do a fight scene where they both work out well, like they do a whole choreograph.
It's like Pacific
thing.
Rim, like left brain, right brain.
Yeah, like they do a fight scene where the cautious man like pauses when it needs a pause, and then the adventurous guy does the adventurous stuff when he needs to adventure.
I'm interested to see if Jake is somebody who's on board with them or is just way more aggro than the rest of them, and to the point where he's something they can't control, because they did murder somebody in the last episode that Mark and Steven are not taking credit for. Neither one of them was willing to take credit for it. There's a third person. We also saw a third sarcophagus in the weird delusional asylum scene.
They didn't let him out, right?
They didn't let him out. And I was like, what a dick move, guys. There's somebody else who clearly wants out, and you just didn't let him out.
Interesting.
But you're almost guaranteed that's going to be Jake. It is.
Well, I don't think that's in dispute. It's just that he's not a good person.
The question is he the actual antagonist of this story, or is it really Harrow? Is Harrow, because because honestly, Ethan Hawke in interviews has been really mums the word about like his role in this story, because there's something going on, because Arthur Harrow is almost a non-existent character in Moon Knight comics. He existed in one issue ever, barely. And so it's really interesting. But like at the same time, I kind of think that the most fun thing about Moon Knight as a show is kind of what we loved about Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Is it's such fertile ground for doing something completely not what you would expect from the comics, because who actually gives a shit about the comics?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like I think nobody, very few people were complaining about Guardians of the Galaxy as a movie because it was just awesome. How accurate was it to the comics? Not really, but I'm fine with that, but the comics now match that because they know that we finally got an iteration of this that people like. So that's why I like all the things jokes aside about our friend Moon Knight who joined us earlier, but like I kind of like that he's looking like an Egyptian warrior finally, because he never did in the comics, and that's why I never understood him as a character. I'm like, I'll say it every episode of the show, as long as we talk about Moon Knight, he looked like a clan member the entire time he was going around beating up bad guys. And I'm like, the moon on your chest is literally the only thing that makes you set apart. You know what I mean? Like
Mac at night, yeah. Like,
he also wasn't wearing like a
Mr. Knight definitely makes him look a lot safer, but I guess I'm not. You know what? I'm not one to say whether or not I feel safer being approached by Mr. Knight versus Moon Knight, but I just like that they have the room to experiment with the character on this show in crazy ways, because you don't see a lot of like diehard Moon Knight fans saying, "Duh, they did that wrong." Like, no. It's like,
all three of them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's cool. And I know for a fact that Travis has always hated the character, but like I talk to him almost weekly about how awesome the show is, because I didn't like the character either, and I love the character now. And so I absolutely want to see Jake. I think it'd be hilarious if the show actually ends with them meeting Jake. Like you just get Jake and then roll credits, and then the show's over, and then you have to wait like however many years before you get to see
what
Jake
kind of
again.
accents does Jake have?
Who knows? I don't know. Nobody has accents in the comics. I don't know.
He has to have a cool accent.
I mean, they do have accents in the comics, but it's really racist when they do accents in the comics. So, like, have you ever seen the writers write like Colossus's accent in the comics? It's awful. Like, or Gambit's accents in the comics. It's like, please don't phonetically write it. It's bad and it's just racist. And just don't do it. Like, don't do this. So, I am completely unaware of what the three personas of Moon Knight are supposed to sound like, and it's fine. It'll sound like Oscar Isaac, probably, Ricky.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah,
it'll probably Poe Dameron, right?
They fly now.
I mean, as long as it's not Apocalypse, I think we're good, right?
Oh,
like,
now that's what I want.
Like, as long as it's not
the third tomb is gonna be Apocalypse's tomb.
Jeez. And they open him up. What are you doing? He's like, learning.
You know, the funniest thing is a couple of weeks ago, like, because I didn't really think about like until like, I was looking it up. But like, it's so weird that Oscar Isaac only plays the Egyptian super characters. Like, right? He plays Apocalypse and he plays Moon Knight. And I was like, that has to have been a pretty interesting comic when Moon Knight probably fought Apocalypse. I couldn't find it. I don't think it exists. And I'm like, what the hell? Why have you not made Moon Knight fight Apocalypse? And it's probably because in the comics, Moon Knight's pretty lame. But they should do it now. I promise you, Moon Knight is going to start looking more and more like he does in the show.
Oh yeah, they're going to get him out of that suit.
In the comics,
yeah,
no way he's not going to look like an Egyptian mummy from now on. So, yeah, but that's cool. But
I'm actually very curious. I'm actually very curious if they're going to actually push Moon Knight into a movie. Like I'm talking about like a solo movie.
I don't think I want solo movies. I don't think I want anybody to have solo movies. Like, that's why I'm excited for Thor. That is the furthest thing from a solo movie. You know what I mean? That's why I'm excited for Doctor Strange, not a solo movie. Like,
yeah, but do you think you get Oscar Isaac back for a Moon Knight season 2, as he will?
They've already said there's not doing a season 2.
Well,
but that's what I'm talking about, though. It's like you had Shang-Chi, who was that was technically a solo movie, so because it was the introduction of a character, so.
And not a very good one, you.
But I'm just saying, it's like when you have these introduction characters, you do a movie of them. There is a beginning, middle, and end. Are they saying that this season of Moon Knight is the beginning, middle, and end of Moon Knight?
No, this is the end. It's a one-off.
This is the beginning of Moon Knight, and then whatever he does in the future may not just be him by himself, but he will get an arc in the same way that the Hulk's still getting an arc. You know what I mean? We're still going to get more Hulk in She-Hulk, and we might get more Hulk after that too.
Well, but that's the thing, though. The Hulk only got their arc because of that whole thing with Universal.
He got an arc because they're responsible storytellers with him. He was going to get an arc whether or not he had his own movies. He still gets an arc. You know what I mean? Like everybody gets an arc. Like every superhero that sells comic books gets an arc. Like, come on, because at the end of the day, they want people to go buy Moon Knight comics. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get an arc with him, and it might be over 10 years. It might be more than that. Who knows?
Well, I'm hoping that they do this build up.
Yeah.
Because actually, the whole Thanos thing was a build up for 10 years. So
exactly.
Yeah, they just introduced this man, this dude. So
Yeah,
they're gonna be. I'm sure Oscar Isaac is signed on for
milk it.
However many years or movies or something like that. So
and in all honesty, as far as power scale goes, I suddenly feel a little bit more comfortable with some of the heavy hitters not being there anymore, right? Because Moon Knight's definitely the most powerful one we've seen of the new group, unless you count Scarlet Witch, who is part of the old group too. You know what I mean? Like, but Scarlet Witch is definitely going to be holding down the new group. So there's her, there's Doctor Strange, and then I think not far down below is probably Moon Knight, or maybe above. I'm not sure, man. I don't know how Moon Knight measures up to Doctor Strange, because it's a freaking god. It's a god. So I don't know.
I would, but the things that we've seen him do, even though he is a god, the things we've seen him do, I've seen Doctor Strange do more marvelous things. So, but he's also had more time to do.
Yeah, and also Doctor Strange isn't sharing his headspace with 2 other people too.
Doctor Strange was kind of shitty in his movie. He didn't get cool till Infinity War.
Exactly. He didn't really get cool until after his movie. He did cool stuff in his movie.
I liked his movie. I'm not saying
I don't like his movie, but I'm saying
he just did cooler shit in the other ones.
He didn't use the Crimson Bands of Sidorak until Infinity War. I'm just saying he didn't. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I think we do got to wrap this one up. We can talk way more about whatever stuff you want. Moon Knight, we can talk more about. We could talk about the Batman. We could talk about whatever other stupid stuff we got going on. But I think we got to say bye to everybody who's been hanging out with us. I feel bad. I didn't mean to scare you away, Moon Knight. I don't know where you went. I like you, even
shit about him.
Yeah, you asked him a question, and
I like you, even though if you do dress like a clan member. It's just like I know you're not about that, Moon Knight. I just know that it could be a misleading, message to people who don't know Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So apologies to our friend Moon Knight out there.
I actually thought you guys knew who that was.
No, I don't know who that was. It's all Moon Knight.
I mean, it could be Jake Lockley, it could be Mark Spector, it could be Stephen Grant. It's hard to say which one it is.
I really think you guys knew who that was.
Can you read it? Does it have an accent on there? I can't see the accent.
I can't.
We should ask him. We should ask him what his accent was.
I can't read it. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to Eric, Joel, and Ricky for nerding out with me tonight. We'll be back next week discussing more Moon Knight and all the latest news with special guest Nas. He's going to be back. It's been a while since we had Nas.
Nas is awesome.
Yeah. And I want to say thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth and to our audience for tuning in. If you had fun, please remember to like, subscribe, and check us out on Patreon for our after show, which is coming up next. The Soapbox, starting moments from now. And I guess if you guys have anything you want to plug, here's your chance to do it. If not, I'm going to say see you next time.
Just going to say, Dennis, Ricky, thank you very much for having us on, man. This was a blast. As
always a pleasure.
Thank you guys for having us on. And the only thing I have to plug is I'm still more talented than Eric. So that's why.
That's not. I'm trying to read mine. Mine says something else about being.
Not when it comes to 60-minute trivia, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry you gave him Ninja Turtles.
I gave you a softball, man. I
didn't work on Ninja Turtles.
I also told you you'd feel dumb when you didn't get it right.
Yes, I did.
Eric, how bad would you have felt if you got it wrong?
Oh man, I would have been crushed. I would have hung up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up and move on to our post show. See you next time on Den Excelsior, True Believers. Enough said.